With almost a week away until Season 5 for Cold War, this would probably be a best time to do my final review for Season 4 of Cold War Zombies. Now, just like every other previous final reviews I do of these seasons on my channel, I will not be covering up multiplayer or Warzone, as the multiplayer, well, it's quite dull and boring, and Warzone is completely infested of, well, of hackers and cheaters, and there's no anti-cheat system in a free-to-play game. Yep, that's one of the downsides. I don't bother to play a free-to-play game like this. If you don't have an anti-cheat system, I don't want to be part of it. Anyway, what's my opinion on Season 4? Well, in the beginning of Season 4, we had the new Outbreak region, Sue, along with the second main quest for Outbreak as well, and the goodies, nifty few weapons added from the Battle Pass and also challenges itself. It felt pretty... Well, I also forgot to mention, we also have the... I think it's called Collateral of the map name for Onslaught. And it pretty much felt even more lackluster compared to the beginning of Season 3, where we had one new region, a field upgrade, and of course added weapon challenge and zombies, and that's pretty much about it. Nothing really much added. A couple days, nothing's really new. And I felt it was quite dull. I feel like this is the season that Outbreak did not get much content as opposed to the previous seasons, especially in Season 3 where they had mostly huge weapon rebalance, as well as a few stuff like the Orda boss, the first main quest, or should I say the Orda event, as well as able to do fishing. What do we have in Season 4? Not really much. But with the mid-season reload, this is where it's pretty much more interesting, because we have a new map, a new round-based map that we not had for almost 6 months since Firebase C, and that is Mauer der Toten, which is German for Wall of the Dead. So this was highly anticipated, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people would enjoy a lot more compared to Outbreak. But I do enjoy both. I do enjoy the new enemies, the Disciples and the Tormentors. The new Wonder Weapon is amazing, the main quest is pretty fun, and the map layout is beautiful. I enjoy it. So let's see what they also add. Now, in terms of the weapons, there's only about 5 weapons they add. So the 2 are from the Battle Pass. The first one you get at tier 15 is the MG82. Of course, this is mostly the Spanish version of the... It's pretty much the Spanish version of the MG42, basically. Has a high rate of fire, a large magazine compared to the rest of its peers, and it really shreds. However, the downside to this weapon is when you pack-a-punch it, your total ammo does not increase, which is pretty excusable, because this thing's gonna burn your ammo quickly. So if they were to give it like 900 rounds total, I will be on board with it. And it's nice that we have another LMG, because during launch we only had a brand new weapon that was not in the beta or alpha, which was the M60. So it took us 4 seasons to finally give us a new LMG. Our next weapon we get in the Battle Pass on tier 31 is the C58, or I call Model C. And you could tell this looks like a G3. Well, it's mostly a Spanish version of the G3, or I shouldn't really call that. It should be the... Well, the G... Well, My bad. The G3 is pretty much the German version of the Citimi Model C, which is what this is. So it's kind of cool. I was really hoping for an FAL, but it's close enough, but I really hope we get something for the tac rifles. And the unique about this weapon is this drum mag that holds 60 rounds, but you do lose a bit of damage because you convert it into 5.56 as opposed to the 7.62. So it's kind of a cool, nifty attachment. As for the additional weapons we got, at launch of Season 4, we did provide a challenge we get for, well, the nail gun. Yep, we literally have a actual nail gun, which is, of course, people will probably recognize the weapon name in Black Ops 3. And in order to get this weapon in zombies, you need to use a special weapon, which is these weapons in these category, get 25 kills, and then warp to another region in Outbreak. So yeah, you basically had to play exclusively in Outbreak to get the nail gun. Our next weapon we get, it was of course added in the mid-season reload update for Season 4 alongside Mauler Totem, was the OTS-9. Or I pretty much call it the Kipparis, or maybe there's, or Kipparis. It's one of those names, and funny enough, I also named it with my blueprints here, so you'll probably recognize this weapon in Black Ops 1. So this is like a Russian version of the Scorpion, pretty much. Low magazine, very high rate of fire, pretty fun to use. Though I still think the MAC-10 and PPSH-41 are still more superior SMGs, especially with their larger magazine, and just overall better attachments in terms of the magazine. And last but not least, we have the mace, which is our 7th melee weapon, and there's nothing special about this. I just unlocked this 2 days ago, and it's just a reskin of the baseball bat, the machete, and even the sledgehammer. And once I complete the challenge, get all my maxed it out, get my camos, it goes straight to the trash bin like the remaining melee weapons, as the only two viable melee weapons I see are the Wakizashi and the E-Tool. But if you're a fan of medieval stuff, I guess you can give the maze a try. Well, I did forget to mention the challenge for the SMG, which what you need to do is you must kill 50 Tempests after they have done teleporting within 2 seconds. Which does sound really annoying, but the trick here is get cryo freeze, make sure you don't get elemental pop, get cryo freeze, use any SMG you want. I did use the AK-74 for you, but you can use any other guns. If you want a high rate of fire, go for a PPSH or a MAC-10. Or if you had an unlock, or you want a high base damage SMG, and that hits hard, pick the Type 821. So to shoot a couple damage to the Tempest, once you get low health, ping the Tempest, and just try to, and just run away from the opposite direction where the Tempests are, and it should teleport in front of you, and you should get the fatal blow within a matter of seconds. You'll probably also know it, you got it, when you get the lightning reflex medal by killing a Tempest within 2 seconds after teleporting. Sometimes the medal doesn't pop, but you can always check out of your progression in your loadout screen, or when you pause the game. As for the melee itself, for the maze, all you need to do is kill 50 special or elite enemies while using Frenzy Guard, which is a field upgrade, and it's a very much long charge to get. And of course, the slow mobility does not work on specials and elite, but that's good because if you have crowd with a lot of zombies, pop that bad boy up. The zombies are slow, you can ignore them, then you go straight for the kill. it's probably easier to. I did this quite a lot. I think the best results I got was during the Mimic the first main quest in Outbreak when you spawn in a lot of Mimics. It's the most easiest thing in the world to do. I find it's useful to do with pair it with the Brain Rot and Elemental Pop. That way you do a lot more damage to the Mimics at round 5. Where being a one-hit kill is not enough for them. But that's it about the weapons. But we also have one new perk, which is of course is Mule Kick. Now, I already covered Mule Kick. Now, in terms of addition as the 8th perk, a lot of people were expecting double tap due to the whole ridiculous large health that Traitor kind of give the zombies. But then, of course, they reverted down. Not the exact same level as the previous versions, but they give a little bit more health, but they do scale a little bit down. So I'll just do a quick recap of Mule Kick, which gives you a third gun, and most of the time, I don't really need a third weapon. So the only time I would actually get Mule Kick is I use it as my usually second last perk, or just a perk that I know that I have 2 weapons I'm good with, and I don't have to worry about buying or picking up another weapon. And plus, I will get the tiers for it. I still able to have the abilities for tier 1, 2, 3, and 4. The only thing I'm missing out is just getting a third gun, and well, in tier 5 for getting my third gun back when repurchasing Mule Kick, because it seemed to be a bit buggy still. I don't know if they changed it in a hotfix. Let me know down in the comment section if Mule Kick of the tier 5 has been fixed. Of course, now I'll go a little bit briefly with the Battle Pass. I won't go overboard with it, but of course our new operator is Jackal, which is another 4th Warshop Pact Mask operator. I mean, we had Stitch, Naga, Wraith, and now Jackal. I mean, the orders keep going on. I'm grateful for Season 5 that the operator is a little more differently. At least she doesn't wear a mask and has like an eye patch, so it's not really count as a mask. Now let's go to the few of the blueprints or a few stuff. Nothing really is special around, but they did add cool new gestures like the Scorpion Shot, one of my favorites. Some of the blueprints aren't weren't that bad, but some of them are not good. I mean, this one looks cool. It's all blue, but in the actual picture itself, it's completely white. If it can actually show it to me. Yeah, it's not even blue, which kind of disappointing. It's not shiny. If it was, I think this would have been the best blueprints during the Battle Pass of this season. Here's our second free weapon, which is of course the C50A. Looks pretty nice. Of course, another excellent gesture. And nothing really fancy as I go through. Now I think some of this blueprint cool. These blueprints are cool. The Egyptian ones. There's 2 of these, which is the KSP-45 and the Barrett M82. I mean, it looks pretty damn cool. I love the details of its design. Looks really nice. And funny enough, of all the places I want to travel around the world, when I was a little kid, I always want to go to Egypt. Not sure why, I just like the environment, even though it's like hot. But the pyramids would just look amazing. And here's the other little like Egyptian theme blueprint. And I have to say, on the bear, it looks really amazing. Especially the way where the scope is with all that. I'm not really sure what you call it, with all these like, they're not ribbons, but It just nice little design. As we get closer to the end. Oh yeah, I did pass the mixtape. I think it was like 72. Yeah. So of course we have the Black Ops 4 mixtapes. So of course we got Inferno, which is the multiplayer theme. Alistair theme and Dam 4 are both multiplayer. Not multiplayer. Both zombies themes. But sadly, in BO4, we only hear the Dam 4 theme and not the Alistair's theme unless you do the main quest of Dead of the Night and you complete the main quest. That's like the only time you hear it, or you could just listen on YouTube. And Reflections is the theme that you get during Tag the Totem when you go on the little small island to get access to the golden Pack-a-Punch. So that's kind of cool. And of course, the best thing about this mixtape, not only is it applied to vehicles, but is also in your music player. So that's actually kind of cool. And then we have more mixtapes, which none of the songs I know. I don't know any of these. So I have no clue. I'm not going to play it because I don't want to get hit by a copyright. Our reactive camo for the MG82, which is like a casino theme. And the reactive skin, or the reactive camo, I call it reactive camo because of the BO4. This blueprint reminds me a lot of the theme that Treyarch did with BO4 of Operation Grand Heist. And this would fit the theme perfectly. Looks pretty amazing. And then we have our final tier 100. Of course, we have our operator skin for Jackal, and this is the first of its kind, a reactive operator skin. So it looks kind of cool. Of course, you get different skins as well by complete challenges. Sadly, there's no challenges for these in zombies, only in multiplayer, which is kind of disappointing. And then the blueprint for the C-58 called Forgotten Oasis. And honestly, all this background reminds me of the Bog Beach in Modern Warfare Remastered. Even though I have not played I hadn't really played the Beach Bog because I had basically dropped the Modern Warfare Remastered multiplayer when they added microtransactions and new weapons into the game on a remastered game, which I was disappointed with. If they would have called it Modern Warfare Reimagined, I would actually understand why they would add new weapons. But when you entitled Remastered and you add new weapons, it really ruins the originality of the COD 4 has. Just my opinion. I already covered the challenge itself. So, also the new thing they added during the mid-season update is the Prestige Shop. Well, something new about it is the blueprints. So I did got the two of these blueprints, the Confrontation for the AK-5 and the Dark Horse for the MP5. And they both require free keys each, free Prestige keys each. So at least there's something else to go for. And I don't need to check my overview because I already did it already. Until I got all the intels in Season 4, which there were a lot because of the Mauer der Toten. So there were quite a lot. As for my combat record itself, well, as I go to zombies, well, nothing really much changed. I played for 31 days, so I basically, I guess I played it for a month now, according to the track records in game. Is top 37 still the highest killing weapon? I did drop dead with the weapon, and a lot of weapons did rise up a little bit, of course. Now the Cerberus in play. Of course, I did reach round 100 quite a lot. I think only about 2 times. And it's all thanks to the Cerberus. And I really hope this weapon does appear an Outbreak for Season 5. Oh man, this thing's gonna shred. the freaking Megatons and other enemies. Of course, there's a Spaz 12. Did make my way up towards it. There's the Bison, M16, Stoner, and then of course, I won't do much, but I think what they also added in Season 4 is the new more soundtracks to Outbreak when you do the Unknown Signal quest, which is very random to get, so unfortunately they did get rid of the ones in rotation of Lullaby for a Dead Man, the one, Abacadaver, Brave, and Armika Infiltration. You won't get those anymore when you complete the Unknown Signal quest, but you do get Generations, Arvivogado, Frequency, Beauty of Annihilation, and Pareidolia. But surprisingly, you also get Alone and Lost into it as well, which it's kind of dumb, and I still don't like the fact that you can get duplicate of these soundtracks, especially if you're trying to hunt for these and you won't get the radio as much. I remember going through multiple games of trying to get a radio because the radio doesn't spawn in every round in Outbreak. It's very random to get. It's very rare chance to get it. So what I think what they should do is they should give you the cassette tape for that track that you don't have. And once you complete all the, if you acquire all the soundtrack or complete all the music player, get all the tracks from the Unknown Signal, you should be rewarded for a extra more XP or more essence by complete the Unknown Signal, even though you have got all the soundtracks. At least that way it does give you a little bit more boost, but also helps to not be much stressful to get the other soundtracks. They also added a few soundtracks when you play Mauer or Toten. So we got these ones as well. Emoboya, which is the music Easter egg that you find the hidden song by the free cassette tapes around the map. You have Berlin 1985, What Awaits, Acid Bunny, and Rafe, or Raph, I should say. So that's pretty much about it for Season 4. As for the main quest, for the second main quest, for Outbreak, I felt disappointed again. Almost like the first main quest. It's literally the exact same concept too. You had to wait until round 3 before you even start the main quest, which kinda really kills it for me because I get everything prepared and I know what I'm gonna be facing, what's probably gonna be ahead. As for, you'll be, of course, teleported to Sanatorium, but if you get Sanatorium on round 3, you're basically had to play another round until you get not Sanatorium. And then afterwards, you can go through the phase, which is kind of cool that you can go outside the phase area in Sanatorium. And the ending, well, in terms of the boss, is the guy right behind you that you're watching now. Yep, we're facing Orda again, and it's not even an enhanced version or anything of the kind. You can literally just smoke him out with a Spaz 12 with no problem. I understand this is meant to be a build-up to Mauer der Toten, but I find they do it way... I find they... people discover this way too fast, and very a bit lazy on Treyarch's side for not making it a little bit more challenging. Of course, the Legion boss fight was a little more challenging, but can be a bit annoying, especially when you had to deal with like 4 Megatons as a solo player. So where do we have left in terms of the finals round-based map or DLC 4, which mostly gonna be happening in Season 6. So what are they gonna have planned for Season 5? Well, for one, I think they're going to do is probably another region. We still have plenty more regions to add to Outbreak, and hopefully they add the enemies and the wonder weapon that appear in Mauer Totem in Outbreak as well, as I think it will be a good time to make sense to go back to it. Who knows? Maybe we have some unfinished business with Operation Threshold, if it's still going, that is. But who knows? And I find this season went by really fast. This was started, what, June 16 or 17 or maybe 18? I don't know. But it went by very quickly. Which I know in Season 2 and 3 and even 4 took 55 days. I'm finding Season 4 went by the quickest. I'm not sure why, but it's just there. But yeah, that's gonna be it, my Season 4, which it felt very slow and quite lackluster in the beginning, but eventually it did pick up with the mid-season reload, so at least there's that. But yeah, thank you for watching, everyone. Until next time, farewell, and have a wonderful day, everyone.